Tuning out of starlight, the innocent lifetime flickers and flashes under a canvas.
Hello everybody, it's Dom Desire back once again, and I'm here in BeamNG one more time. And that's because I feel like I did do a disservice last time, only using a controller to drive those cars, because I can't get quite the real experience of and feel of how those cars will handle. So today I'm in my racing simulator, and I'm going to be redoing the 3 tests in the racing simulator. And this time, I'm also going to be using a separate car as well first to kind of set like a benchmark to kind of see what our performance numbers are going to be or like in comparison to a normal car. And I just took it's kind of a normal car, but I ended up taking the Hirochi SBR4, just a base rear-wheel drive manual. And I'm going to turn traction control off on this car, and we'll see how this performs in the 0-60 on the drag strip and off the drag strip, and then the 60-100. And then we'll do the lap times with this, and then we'll go on to do the same tests with the 3 cars I made in episode 2 of Automation. So let's start off with the 0-60 time. And the quarter mile time, actually. There we go. So we got 0 to 100 kilometers, or 0 to 62 of 6.433 seconds, and then we got a quarter mile time of 14.399. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing the regular road tests. Once again, this 0 to 60 and then the quarter mile time. I'm going to try to be a little bit more conservative on the launch because I don't have traction control on, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so not that bad of a difference. 7.111 for the 0 to 62, and then 14.93 to the quarter. Okay, now we're going to be doing the 100 to 0 time. So let's just get up to speed. Okay, so ready, and so it's 3.104. So we're here at the racetrack now. And now, if you remember last time, I'm going to set 3 laps, 2 of which being hot laps, 1 of which being the out lap. During that lap, I'm going to be setting the 2 checkpoints essentially, and then the starting point, which will be right here. So, let's go. So I did end up changing the ECU mode to Sport Plus, just so I don't just spin out going around some of these corners. I know it's a little bit cheaty, but I feel like if the car has the electronics, why not use them? Like, ABS is on this car. going down the long back straight. And just like last time, I'm going to be skipping the chicanes just to get a general idea of the top speed of the cars. So obviously this isn't like anywhere near one of the faster cars in the game, especially because it is the rear-wheel drive version of this car. But it is still quite a quick car actually. And it does handle very well. So we'll really get to see what the time comparison will be like from this to the, well, essentially 1950s cars. So obviously ABS helps quite a bit. So I wonder if I'll be able to save quite a bit of time just from ABS. Probably should try to stay in second gear going through there. So obviously our first lap base time is a 2:20, but that doesn't mean much because it is a out lap. So there is the first flying lap with a time of 2:14. Almost spun out there. Oop. That was not good. So I am up 2/10 from the last flying lap. I actually don't know where I did save that time from. Oh, that was not quick. Almost went off. I did keep one tire on, so I'm gonna count this lap, but so then we'll be doing our last lap now. Oh. That one was very good. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so we are up still. Oh no, I misshifted going into 5th. So that might cost us some time. Oh! The transmission is a little bit weird. Might have to set a better dead zone for the clutch. And a 2:14, so our fastest lap ended up being fastest lap ended up being that third lap with a 2:12.9. Okay, so yeah, as you can see in the fourth lap, I was cut down 6/10, where I lost a lot of time in the third sector there. So yeah, so now I'm going to be switching back to the vehicles I created in automation, and we'll see what times we set. Okay, so we are... Okay, so we're in the Imperial L now. If you remember, this car is an automatic V8. Yeah, it has horrible tires. It has no ABS, horrible brakes, and it has 300 foot-pounds of torque. And obviously I don't have an interior camera, so I'm just going to be using the hood view. So yeah, so let's get started and see. Obviously, I don't think the quarter-mile times and the braking times will be affected much, but the main one we're hopefully can see a difference is the track times. So let's get started. So starting off with 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.967, and then a quarter-mile time of 15.803. So now we're going to be doing the non-drag strip tests. And yeah, I forgot, this car doesn't have power steering at all. So the steering is actually really heavy. But yeah, obviously during these tests it won't be that big of a deal, but on the track, we'll have to see how much that affects our time. Yes, we lost a lot of time there, just had so much wheel spin. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 10.732. And then a quarter mile of 18.033. I just could not get hooked up. It's a struggle to get grip. But yeah. So we lost a significant amount of time there. We ended up gaining just under 3 seconds to 62 miles an hour. And then we ended up gaining almost just over 2 seconds in the quarter mile. Okay, and now we're going to be doing our braking test. And actually quite good with a time of 4.564. And then I will see you guys over at the track. So we're here at the track in the Imperial L, and we're going to be seeing how close this can get to the Hirochi, or more accurately, how far away it is from the Hirochi. And due to some weird bugs I had, the same ones I had last time, I do have to start a little bit further up. It shouldn't affect lap times too much, just because I'm still doing a full lap. It's just changing slightly the starting and the finishing line, so it only just changes the first and the last sectors a little bit, but the full distance was the same. So yeah, let's get started. Yep, so I pretty much did a burnout all the way to 100 kilometers an hour. And the brakes in this aren't actually that bad, considering I don't have ABS and my tires are garbage. And I believe I'm on drums on all 4 corners. But the wind noise is real bad. I don't know how much it's going to come through on the video, but I can barely hear. All I hear is wind. Okay. Oh, so close in the apex. Just ease onto the throttle. There we go. That wasn't too bad. But here's the part where I have to be careful. Oh, slow down a little bit. Oh, yep, okay. I held it. Not too bad. Yep, I can barely hear myself think with the noise of the wind right now. Luckily the car is automatic, so it'll be easier to set this sector time. And the brakes are actually quite good on this. I could actually have braked quite a bit later there for future note. But yeah, it doesn't lock up that much. I guess I do have a lot more finesse with my left foot rather than with my left index finger on a controller. Here though, I am a little bit worried. Oh, okay, not too bad. A little bit of a cut and go. Actually, that was not bad at all. Oh, oh my goodness, almost died. So brake a little bit early here so we don't lose traction going into the last corner here. Oh, caught it. Okay. And why did it set the lap time back there? I don't know. And I locked up. And I spun out. I have no idea what happened and why the lap time set in such a weird area. I've been having so many issues with the lap timer in this game. But yeah, let's hope. As long as it's consistent, I don't care too much. It'll already just be the first and the last sectors that get affected. And this lap is pretty much garbage anyways since I already spun out. So it looks like the rest of the sectors are doing okay. It's really just the start and stop line that's affected. This lap's garbage ready. It has a lot of snap oversteer, which is weird for such a heavy car. I guess it really just is the lack of traction from these very skinny wheels. Or tires, should I say. But yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously that first lap I'm not going to consider too much, and it's the out lap anyways. But yeah, I'm not considering too much just because of the weird starts finish. Or like I said, as long as it's consistent, the start and stop time, I'm not too worried about it. I could still brake a little bit later there. So it looks like my spin cost me a lot of time considering this is a flying lap. And it's still... I'm 7 seconds down in the first sector and now a total of 8. Oh gosh, okay, I'm okay. Wow, this car is a handful to drive. We're starting our second flying lap, and the start time section is now correct. So it was just that second lap that got all messed up. Just barely braked in time. Didn't quite hit the apex. But we didn't crash, that's all that matters. Around the corners, have to be so careful with the throttle. Obviously, no traction control, but even if I did have traction control, I don't think we'd be able to help with a car with this little traction. Oh. Ugh. Oh. Horribly oversped into that corner. Okay, wasn't too bad around there, but I still feel like I'm behind. And I need to try to brake late into this corner here. I feel like I lost like even maybe a second in that sector, maybe more. Oh no, it looks like I went like almost even. Didn't lose any time. In fact, I gained 4 milliseconds, which isn't bad. And I assume that's based off of my fastest time, which was my first lap. for obvious reasons. Yeah, I feel like it's better to cut early at the first half of that turn, and then just don't cut as much in the second, so I could get a better exit. No! And I spun out in the last corner! Of course I did. And that'll mess up this lap and probably in the next one. And I got the weird lap bug again. I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to do one more lap. Sorry. And by one more lap, I meant one extra lap. Because this one's already garbage because the weird start stop. And obviously I just went off. So yeah. Because that spin, I ended up losing 2 whole seconds total. So I lost 7 seconds because that spin in the last corner. But it wouldn't have mattered too much anyways because that weird lap bug. I think if I avoid the right side of the track there, it'll probably be okay. This car is impossible to drive. This car is impossible to drive. And yeah, I'm going to give it one extra lap just because the weird bugginess I'm getting with the lap. Yeah, once you're pointing straight, it's not bad, but around turns, this car is a nightmare. Yeah, I think I was on time for 240-ish, which would have been a decent lap, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to avoid that right side of the opening straight and see if that helps with that weird timing bug, because it feels like there's just extra start-stop times in there that is triggering somehow. Oh god, I almost spun out again. Yeah, so this lap will be my last hot lap. And hopefully I could set a time, because otherwise I don't have a proper time for this car. I have to wrestle this car around every single corner. I almost want to turn down the force feedback on my steering wheel. I feel like I'm gonna break my wrists trying to wrestle this around all the corners. Oh, even when I brake so early, I'm still not making it in time for these corners. Ugh. And then I just can't get it on the throttle till I'm like absolutely straight. So I actually lost time in that second sector. I had a really good first sector, actually. I don't know how that happened, but I lost time in the second sector somehow. Yeah, we just need to not spin around the last corner, and we will be golden. So I'm just gonna brake a little bit early while straight, and then take this wide so I don't spin. And come on, can we hit the 240? We cannot hit the 240. Can't even hit a 242. We got a 243.261. That's an awful time. And we lost so much time in the last sector. I don't know why. But that'll be our official time. Just because, yeah, this one was the super cheaty. It just teleported us. Or it started way back. So I'm gonna ignore this one. And we're gonna use 243.261 as our official time for the Imperial L. So yeah, here we are in the Luxor Mark II. Yeah, so obviously, if you remember, this car is quite a bit lighter, but has significantly less horsepower and a ton less torque, 130 foot-pounds less of torque. But we do have a higher red line, not by much, and I do believe we also have an extra gear, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so it is still automatic, still has garbage tires. But yeah, so let's get started with our first with the drag times, the drag strip times. So actually a not half bad quarter mile, 0 to 62 with a 7.699 and a quarter mile of 15.599. Okay, so now we're going to be doing our regular road test, the non-drag strip runs, and we'll see how much time it loses without all the extra traction. So it loses a lot of time on that gear shift. And loses a ton of time in the quarter. So we're to a 9.8 0 to 62 and a 17.3 quarter. So we're losing pretty much just under 2 seconds in the quarter, which isn't horrible. But then we're losing a significant amount of time, about 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds in the 0 to 62 time. And now we're going to be doing our 100 to 0 time. Yeah, these first few tests are mostly just going to be for fun, obviously, and then the track time is really where we're going to be able to see the performance, just because I'm only doing one of each run. I'm not going to do multiple runs for these, just because I want to just get a general idea of what the performance is like, and then the track time will really show the difference in the performance. So yeah. Yeah, let's get up to speed. So we're up to speed. And oh, that was bad. Locked up early. Probably could do it better if I didn't lock up. But like I said, I'm only doing one try. for all these tests, and then we'll see on the track what our true performance numbers are like. So we're here at the track now, and even just getting here, this car feels leagues ahead of the Imperial. It just handles so much better. I assume the majority of that just because of the less weight, because of it's a significantly smaller car, but and less torque. So I don't have to feather the throttle everywhere unless I'm pointing dead straight. And even then, sometimes in the Imperial, you could be pointing dead straight and you hit the throttle too much and you're spinning. But in this car, it feels a lot more comfortable around all the corners, and it flows a lot through the windy sections. So yeah, so let's get started. I'm expecting this to get a significantly better time than the Imperial. Also, if you remember in the last episode, this actually has a higher top speed too, which can help in that one long straight sector. But other than there, the top speed shouldn't affect much. Just because the cars are so slow, they're barely reaching your top speed. But yeah, I guess the one kind of issue is the brakes just aren't as confident as in the Imperial. Might just be just because that extra weight. I don't have to worry about locking up as much. This car is maybe just it's so light, it locks up a lot easier with a lot less pressure on the brakes. But it does brake like earlier though, so it's not like it's braking worse. It's just have to be a little bit more careful to not lock up. Yeah, so through here I'm a lot more confident. I'm not worried about spinning out as much. Obviously, I'm not comfortable enough to go full throttle all the way through there, but I still have a significant more confidence going through there. Whoop. So I got a little bit overzealous and locked the hell up. Yep. So obviously I'm gonna lose a significant amount of time through there. But yeah, so like I said, the brakes are definitely. I'm not gonna say the brakes are better. This car does brake better than the Imperial, but you just have to be a lot more careful with them. It locks up a lot easier than the Imperial. And yeah, it does not just spin out, accelerating out of corners. Oh, shit. I don't think I have damage, but I'm gonna keep going. I'll see how it feels on this lap. See if I have damage or not. Yeah, it drives fine. I'm not gonna worry about respawning just yet. We'll see how well this lap goes, and to see if I decide to recover the car. Maybe my back is affected because I do feel like I have less traction under throttle. But I'm not too worried. Worst case, on the last lap I will worry about recovering. But no, it seems like it's handling fine, so I'm not too stressed. So far, obviously, because I did have one really bad spin, the first lap is a 2:56.7, which is abhorrent. But like I did have a really bad spin going into this sector here, so as long as I'm careful this time, I should be fine. So didn't really gain much into sector 2 there. If anything, actually I lost like half a tenth, it looks like. Which is interesting, because I thought my first sector was actually the worst of my 2 sectors so far, but obviously the standing start on that first lap will affect the time quite a bit. And we'll see what our first fast lap actually looks like. Wrestling around the last corner. So 2:39, which is a significantly faster than anything we did in Imperial L. Oh, had to wrestle around that corner there. But yeah, so already quite a bit faster than the Imperial L. Even on that weird glitch cheaty lap where it got 2:42. But yeah, I did really have to wrestle this car around, but nowhere near as much as I did the Imperial. Oh. I don't know how much you can hear the tires crying behind me for traction. Oh. And I don't know if it'll come through, but my wheel is not having fun either. But the steering wheel is a lot easier on this than the Imperial L, by a significant margin. Nope. Tried to save it. Didn't quite work. So since I spun, I'm just going to do a recover real quick. Just so on the last lap, I have a fully recovered car, just in case I do have damage. I was up 6/10. So, yeah. I was up 6/10, which isn't a minor amount, but obviously with that spin there, and in the second sector, I was still down 3/10. It looks like. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, so let's do our final lap, and we'll see if we can improve at all. We theoretically should be able to improve again in the first sector as we did in the last lap, but let's see. So we did spin out, but we kind of recovered it. We'll see what our first sector time looks like. But worst case, if our first sector is really that bad, it probably will just end up going with our first lap time. And that's that. So, I was trying to push a little bit too much. And, yeah, spun out twice. So, there's no point even finishing this lap. Obviously, because I'm already 9 seconds down. So, we will go with a 2:39 as our best lap, with a 46 first sector, 55 second sector, and a 57 third sector. So, we'll meet back at the at the drag strip for the final vehicle. So we're finally here in the Vista Cruiser, and we're here obviously at the drag strip. And this is a heavy car, but it's also manual. Oh, that's unfortunate. My hoodie doesn't work. Oh no. 1 minute. Give you a second. So I tried, but I could not get the camera to be in a better angle. Unfortunately, I'm doing chase cam in a sim rig, which I don't think I've ever done before actually. But yeah, so let's give this a shot, I guess. Yeah, so like I said, it's the only manual transmission car so far, other than obviously the Hirochi. But yeah, let's get started. So quite slow, 8.969, nice, in 0 to 62, and then 16.471 to the quarter. So obviously not great times, but yeah, let's see how well it does off the drag strip. So yeah, let's see how well it does off the drag strip where there's significantly less traction. Probably not going to do well. Third gear is way too long for some reason. So 0 to 62 in 11.33 seconds. And a quarter mile time of 18.295. Now we just have to do the 100 to 0 test. And so far it had the slowest quarter mile yet by a not too significant of a margin, about 2/10. Yes, let's cap 60 and oh, 4.932, which is actually almost the same as the Luxor. So it wasn't even that bad of a stopping time. In fact, it was actually quicker. But in the Luxor, I did lock up quite badly. So I will meet you guys at the track, and we will see what type of lap time this will put on the track. So here at the track, and getting here in this car was absolutely the most miserable thing I've ever done. It makes the Imperial L feel like a purpose-built track car. This car is undrivable. It's gonna take every ounce of concentration in me, even just to get around once without crashing. But yeah, if you don't believe me, let's start. Yeah, I just honestly don't understand why, but you turn, it just wants to spin out. Yeah, it's so hard to heel toe in this car because the gears are so long. And it revs so slow. And it tries to spin out every single corner. Oop, a little bit late on that checkpoint. The chase cam probably isn't helping much either. Yeah, it tries to spin out every single corner, even if I'm not on throttle. It has like lift-off oversteer for some reason, which is weird because it's not a mid-engine or rear-engine car. You have to go into every turn so carefully and throttle out so carefully so you don't spin, and it doesn't have any torque, so it can barely climb. Oh, and then it almost spins again and tries to kill you. Oh, and then here, oh, yep, it hates the curbs. Has absolutely horrid suspension. Even going around a quick corner. It is not happy going around a racetrack. And I forgot to set the third sector. I'm not too stressed. Oh. Yeah, if you don't heel toe perfectly, it just locks up instantly. Throws you off. The first lap is a 3:01. It'll be interesting if I could beat that time, but the amount of concentration it takes is immense. And then it oversteers under braking, which doesn't make any sense. I think the front is out braking the rear or something. Have to be super careful around that corner. Can't even make it up to 100 kilometers or 100 miles an hour. There you go, finally. Oh, and then I missed second. And then crunched the gears. Be super careful here. You don't want to lose control again. And we have a 251, which is actually better than I thought it would do. And it just refused to stop. And oh, almost tries to break my wrists. Oh, that tank slapper. Obviously, I know it's not a motorcycle, but that one hurt my wrist real bad. I really should turn down the force feedback. And then once again, tries to spin out under braking, and then and then I spun out. And then it's gonna try to kill me here again. Oh, nope. What an absolutely dreadful car to drive. I'm so happy this car is last because my wrists are killing me. I don't understand why this car has so much lift-off oversteer. It doesn't make any sense. Oh. Once again trying to kill me over the Laguna Seca section. And we're gonna be doing our last lap now. Hopefully I don't crash. An absolutely dismal time. A 3:08.6. Barely able to get around that corner. Was like in a different time zone from the apex. Oh, my wrists. Oh, barely saved it. Oh. Oh. Somehow didn't crash. No. Along here again. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. I don't know, I somehow damaged this thing for going to fourth. If they said one more gear in between, I feel like it'd be a lot better through this section. It just doesn't have the torque. For that section in third, going uphill. Nope. Oh. Just barely saved it. Go on, go, go, go. Can you beat it 251? Go, go, go. And a 247.8. That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be significantly worse than that. Yeah, 'cause I thought that 251 was around the time it was going to be. But yeah, that's actually surprisingly not awful. So, but now my wrists are killing me. So yeah, now you see how well they do with an actual racing rig, and hopefully from now on all the new cars we produce are a lot better than this. Who knows though, because I'll probably end up having to build a lot of cars like this Vista Cruiser just to make money in automation. I won't be able to just make profit off of every single car I make, but yeah, we'll see. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.
You take me back to a place that I've never been.